So Josh.
Yeah.
Do you think you're politically correct?
Are we politically correct?
We don't know, but let us know what you guys think about being politically correct and being in creative. We're going to talk about that. Then comment below. All right. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is LaMay Day Limelight. As you should know by now, I am Sharíck LaMay, and this is my bouncy co-host.
j.Pin, you know what it is.
You know what it is. And it's the end of January already. Can you believe this?
I'm excited.
Why are you so excited?
Because I told y'all this is my year of shine. I'm shining, baby.
All day, all night.
All day.
That's awesome.
I'm getting compliments. People are like, your skin is glowing. You look good. You look happy. And I am. I'm shining.
You giving me some Wendy Williams vibes.
Oh, my
Auntie
Wendy. All right, so I want to talk about Wendy Williams because we're not really a gossipy show here. We're not. You know what I mean? But we definitely like to stay up with current events. And to me, Wendy is a media personality.
She's an icon.
I've definitely looked up to her career. And even though our format doesn't necessarily follow what she does, there's a lot to learn from her.
Definitely.
And just right now, everything that's going on with her, like there's a lot of negativity surrounding her and her career. Mm-hmm. As most people who watch her show know, she's been absent for a while. So she's got some guest hosts, or the show has guest hosts taking her place for the moment. But it's because she's been ill. She suffered an injury. She suffered a hairline fracture on her shoulder, and she also has Graves' disease. But beyond that, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of negative talk about what's going on in her personal life regarding her marriage, regarding another woman, a potential pregnancy.
Just too much.
And it's a lot. And, you know, it's really saddening to see because I looked up to Wendy as a media personality, and it just sucks that, you know, say what you want. And I've said this on the show before, no matter what you think of Wendy, Wendy has an audience. Wendy has built her career. You know, and it sucks to see that, you know, right now what her legacy is. I feel like it's being tarnished, you know. I think decisions are being made on her program, on her show that aren't being consulted with her.
And outside of her. And I mean, it sucks. I'm not a huge gossipy type of person, but that is one of my guilty pleasures is watching the Wendy Williams show. So we wish her well. We wish her the best, and to all of her fans, you know, let's keep her uplifted, and you know, let's hope she comes back. I'm kind of sad right now because it's award season.
It is. And and she's the one to she gives you the goods.
I'm saying. Well, speaking of award season, it's February.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is crazy. That means Valentine's Day is coming up, and we have a special giveaway for you guys.
Oh yes. It's called Date With My Face.
Yes.
It's really a date with your face.
Absolutely.
It's a kit. There's like a bowl and like a scrub and a mask. And you can win one for free if you do a few things for us
that we're going to take at the end of the show.
Yeah, you'll find out later.
So make sure you guys are tuning in at the end of the show so we can give you all that information on how you can have a date with your face.
Wow.
There's so much to look forward to with the Oscars and the Grammys and
the SAG Awards were this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
SAG Awards had just ended, and big shout out to Black Panther. You know, we've been talking about them since season 1, honey. Yeah. Everybody's been talking about them. It's been completely awesome. But we also wanted to talk about Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy.
Sandra Oh
from Grey's Anatomy. And the Asian inclusion that we're seeing in a lot of the platforms. We talked about Crazy Rich Asians on the end of year episode. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think Sandra Oh, first of all, she's an amazing actress. Most people know her from Grey's Anatomy, and she's done other movies as well. She has gotten awards for her role on Grey's Anatomy, but I just think to see the Asian inclusion, the Asian representation, especially through someone who's so talented. I mean, it's amazing. And it's funny, I was reading something that at her speech, her acceptance speech, she thanked Jamie Foxx, Alfre Woodard, and Lena Waithe. She shouted them out because at different points of her career, they all told her something that was very uplifting.
That's awesome.
And Lena retweeted it and just called her a goddess and said, like, you know, just thank you. This was such a magical moment. And like, I love seeing that. I love seeing unity. I love seeing people shouting people out, just, you know, because they told her something positive, you know. And Sandra Oh deserved that win.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, on the flip side of that, a lot of what people have been talking about, we know we don't really talk about it too much, is this whole R. Kelly thing, right? So what's really interesting, and this is the theme of our episode, is being politically correct, right? So we know Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, they all pulled his music that they've done collaborations with him off of their streaming services. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think they were right in doing so.
Okay.
You know, and I really like the statement that Gaga released when she did it. It was something along the lines of she was in a place that she didn't respect herself when she did that song with R. Kelly. She explained that it wasn't the best decision. And she felt like that was something she needed to do to, you know, I don't know if it was revive her career or just to like feel accepted or something. But it was along the lines of she wasn't in the right space when she did that.
I'm glad that she alluded to that, because I think a lot of what people are doing is saying that they just had this aha moment about R. Kelly when we knew what it was. We knew what it was a long time ago. It's just it was overshadowed and overlooked. And now that we have the details about it, you know. But there are some people on the opposite spectrum that are totally against it. There's people, especially particularly in the Black African American community, that are like, yo, R. Kelly did a lot for our community. He's at the top. Why are you trying to bring this black man down? You know, I definitely, me personally, I do see both sides of the issue. And I know that, you know, sexual abuse and what we're seeing that he's doing is not something that's uncommon to his particular case, especially within the entertainment industry. So it's one of those unfortunate things, and it's hard to gauge, you know, what would be politically correct in this situation if you have a song with R. Kelly. So it's one of those things, but we have a great guest that we're going to talk to about being politically correct. I'm so excited to speak with her. Her name is Emilie, better known as Emilie Knows Everything, and she does know everything.
And she's really fun.
She's hilarious. I'm so excited to talk to her. She's going to give us some insight about being a comedian, being a woman comedian, and being politically correct or not. We'll talk to her right now.
All right, so today we have comedian, personality, and host of her own podcast, Emilie Knows Everything, Emilie Hagen.
Hi.
Hey.
I don't know why I just did this.
No, it's okay. It's personality.
You said personality, and I was like, she's like, let's go.
This is gonna be a fun interview.
I know.
How are you?
Yeah.
Good. It's been a weird day.
Really?
It's one of those bad days.
Oh.
People are messaging me like, do you need a hug?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Well, on my way here, I was walking and I saw all those inspirational quotes on the side walls, and I was like not agreeing with any of them. So I started writing my own quotes underneath, and then people I think just thought like I was super negative.
Oh no.
After the show, I think I'm just gonna go delete everything.
Did you go erase it or wipe over it?
Yeah, it was about like the journey and the destination. I was like, there's no such thing as a destination. Wipe it out. It always changes.
Oh my
And I was like, the
gosh.
journey's only fun in hindsight. People are like, are you okay? But I'm good now.
You're good.
Okay, good.
You're good.
Are you guys
You're here.
okay?
Yeah, we're.
Am I making you
great.
okay? You're laughing.
I love her. I can't. Oh my
Go ahead.
gosh.
How are you guys?
We're good.
We're really
How was your
good.
2019 so far?
I actually got sick for 3 weeks, so not good. But now I'm fine, and I feel like not because I was sick. Like I'm really good.
Well, the first month doesn't count.
I feel like I always get sick in January.
Okay.
Because you're partying hard?
Because I go home to Buffalo and New York, and I just kept getting in the cold. They say like you can't catch a cold from being cold, but I just don't believe that.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it because I always get sick in January.
And we're spoiled here in California, so.
Yeah.
Did you guys get flu shots?
I
That's
did.
a whole other conversation.
You did it.
I don't
totally
do the flu
did.
shots.
I
See,
did
someone
get
told
sick
me
not
not to,
once.
so I did it.
Because when you get it, for me, it gave me the flu.
That's what I heard.
So I don't want it.
Yep.
We don't want that.
I didn't get
But anyway, so we're gonna just chatterbox all day. But we want to ask you some questions
Okay,
and get
let's
in your
go.
business. So tell us about your podcast that's actually dropping in February. Emilie Knows Everything.
So I started a few years ago. I started a podcast called Nobody Cares.
Okay.
And then my partner moved to Boston, and nobody really cared. And I started doing another podcast called Emilie Knows Everything. And I completed the first season last year, and I had like 12 episodes. I was only doing like one once a month because I created this really hard formula for myself where it'd be like Emilie goes out in the world and gets in a weird situation and then brings comedians on to like help her make sense of it all.
Oh.
And then part two, I would bring on an expert on the subject. So there was a time where I like went and worked at this surf camp in the Inland Empire, and then we started talking about sea creatures. So then dolphins got brought up. So then I ended up interviewing a guy that had a relationship and sexual affairs with a dolphin.
Oh, interesting.
So I've had like really weird guests, but it's hard to find these people all the time. So I'm gonna change the formula, and season 2. I'm just gonna do like one-on-one interviews, and like I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm not a planner, but
it'll be organic.
I still want weird guests on the show. I'd like to interview someone that robbed a bank. That's on my manifestation
I know someone.
board. You do?
Yes.
Manifesting.
Let's chat.
I want to learn how to rob.
What?
Was he successful?
Louisiana. I mean, no, he wasn't. He got caught, but
well,
he's out now.
Well, I feel like my dreams are coming true just being here. So yeah, it's a comedy podcast.
Okay, so a little bit more about comedy. So you are a host. How did you get into comedy, being that host was kind of like your priority at the time?
Yeah, because I met you when we were both hosting.
Yeah, we were both doing hosting.
And then I was doing a lot of auditions, and I remember I went into an audition, and I always overshare. Like I said, I was sick, I'm in a bad mood. Like these are things that you shouldn't say to people in a professional setting. Like even right now, like I should just been like, I'm having a beer.
Yeah.
So I would go on these auditions, and they would like ask me like how I am, and I would over explain it when they just want you to slate your name.
Oh wow.
So a bunch of casting directors would be like, have you ever thought about doing comedy? And I was like, oh, you think I'm funny? And they're like, you're really honest. So that's why I started comedy, because I was honest. I never thought about it beforehand. So they were like, why don't you just go try that? Because I think that my personality couldn't fit into a box. So I stopped doing the acting thing. And then the hosting thing I was doing for a while, but what I didn't like about hosting, at least for red carpets, is that I would work for all these YouTube and media outlets, but they wouldn't let me be myself. And I believe like it should just be a conversation. So I found that if I added comedic in front of the word host, it gave me the freedom to say whatever I wanted on the carpet.
And it gave you a niche as well.
Exactly.
Right.
So now when I do carpets, no one gets mad if I say something inappropriate, whereas before I had to be more of a bobblehead. I just can't do this. Like,
I totally feel that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this show, because I felt doing the red carpets, it was, for one, it was hectic and crazy.
It is chaotic.
You only get like one question in with the person, and then that's it. And then a lot of times people like steal your questions.
And then you have to think of something.
And then you have to think of something else.
And then the actors don't want to answer the questions.
No,
they don't want to be there.
Right. So
and then if you are fun, then the person that you're working for gets mad, or the publicist gets mad. So it's like kind of a lose-lose.
But I mean, for all those red carpet hosts, keep going. Keep moving, keep pushing. Nothing against it. I think our experience.
Yeah, our experience. And I'm sure if I went back to the red carpet now, like I miss getting dressed up and going to
that
do
was
those
always
things.
fun too.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And like I did have some great interviews that I do miss, but now I can say whatever I want, like it's fine.
Right. Yeah. Right. Definitely.
So talk to us about being a woman in comedy. I mean, I know we've had some pretty prominent female comedians in the past come through, but I still think it's a male dominated sector of entertainment.
I feel like there's a lot of like every day I open up my Facebook, I see tons of people fighting about that. Like everyone's like talking about how there's not enough females on flyers, but then I hear that then the males are fighting against the females. I honestly feel like I've never felt like I couldn't book shows because I was a female. I felt like maybe I didn't book shows because I wasn't working hard enough. I feel like being a female, every time I'm on YouTube though, I'm like, oh, I'm a female comic, because every time I look at female comedians' YouTube comments, they're always saying females aren't funny. Oh wow. Even if they killed it, guys will still say that. So I feel like it's harder to, it's not so much the comedians and the gatekeepers that are like preventing women from excelling, it's more like the comment trolls.
That's interesting. You know what, you trolls, we don't like you.
I don't really identify with a female. Not that I'm like doing the whole like transgender thing. I just don't ever, like, I don't feel like I make jokes about being a woman that often. I'm trying to remain neutral in my routine.
Where do you find your comedic inspiration then?
Just from my terrible life. Yeah, it's not that bad, but
I mean, you live in Hollywood.
I'm super negative, and I think being a comedian, I think most comedians are professional complainers.
You know what? That's very true. I never thought of that.
You know what? It's like being a comedic host. Like I can literally just make an excuse like for my negativity by being like, well, I'm a comedian. That's my job.
So one of the things that we're talking about for this episode, well, the theme of this episode is being politically correct as a creative. So, being that you kind of already segued into that, you know what happened with like the Kevin Hart situation with the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
You know what he said about the LGBT.
That was all over Facebook too.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, any ideas as to why that may be, or are you against making comedians have to be politically correct?
I think that I mean, the other day my mom called my brother, who's not even in entertainment, and was like, me and your father just found your Twitter account. I need you to go and delete everything immediately. And
wow.
It was from like 7 years ago, and he went back and he had the weirdest comments. He said like Larry King Live looks like a gargoyle. Moses has gross feet. It was like really weird comments, and then there was something that alluded to gay. My mom's like, you were like gay shaming, but he wasn't. But I can see how that would prevent him from getting a job. But he didn't even remember tweeting those things.
Right, of course. How can you remember?
I find that like it's the Kevin Hart thing was strange for me because I felt like on one hand, I mean, the things he said were, I honestly have no opinion on this type of shit.
Okay.
I'm really bad with, I'm sorry this is a theme. Like, I am so moderate when it comes to my viewpoints. Like, I literally can see both sides. I saw Kevin Hart's side. I saw their side too.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I felt like his tweets were a little bit much.
Okay.
I don't know why he didn't apologize, but I also think that comedians should be able to say whatever they want in some
regard.
They have to have some boundary.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because I've seen comics that are new go up on stage and just say really offensive shit, and like that's just a bad look. I feel like there's got to be, you have to teeter the line carefully.
Right. And then do you apply that to your own comedy? Is there some things that you're like, ooh, I probably shouldn't say that?
I don't know what's right and wrong. I feel like I struggle with knowing the answer right now because the climate's everyone's so polar opposite.
Yeah, and they're sensitive.
It's a lot of sensitivity.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like pretty insensitive, but then I feel bad after. So again, don't have an identity, I guess.
But that's totally okay. I think that's totally fine for you to at least acknowledge it. Well, do you have anybody that you like test your material with beforehand, or do you have like that community of comedians that you work with?
Well, the guy that I just started dating, he's like a super, he's very left, so he's very politically correct.
Got it.
And he said that he feels like he's supposed to be in my life because sometimes I say things and I don't realize that they're offensive.
Got it.
It's just because of where I grew up. I grew up in a town with literally all white people. It's a very redneck community. So he says sometimes I'll say, like, I didn't even know until recently that you can't say Indian anymore. Like, you can't say Indian giver.
Yeah.
I grew up in a family that said that, and I just found out that was politically incorrect.
Yeah.
So I feel like I just need someone to hand me a book, and I just need to read it.
Read all the terms.
Right.
Glossary.
All the terms. Yeah. I mean,
He's been helping me, like, no.
That's good.
But I'm just waiting for the day that I make the mistake.
Well, girl, all you gotta do is watch you some BET for a whole day.
Just call
But I've noticed that it's like the people that get mad the most are like white people. Like, I have a joke where I say, I'm not the type of girl that thinks all black people look the same. I honestly think they all look famous. And then I point to different people in the crowd and like give them compliments, like a really good looking, like, I thought you were Cam Newton, sir. Oh my God, I was stoked you were at my show. And then the black people are like excited about it. And then white people are like, ugh. But it's a compliment. Right? I think it's so.
The next question is about comedians and comedic actors. Like, I'm curious to know what's the difference, but at what point do you transition? Is that even a thing? Is there more success with one versus the other?
Oh, I think right now everyone's doing both. I think people do stand up. I think some people do stand up to get into comedic acting roles, and then some people transition the other way. I think they can go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have enough experience on set with like comedic actors.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I knew Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love him.
I feel like he doesn't do stand up.
Yeah. But he's just a funny guy who does acting.
You can be like a funny person and then a stand up.
Right.
You don't have to be a funny person to be a stand up.
Like, maybe some people just bring the funny to a character.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus,
there's like the improv, there's acting, there's stand up, there's a bunch of ways, and then all the YouTube people. That's a whole different.
That's a whole other thing.
A different type of comedy.
Wow. So then you also have a big following on Twitch. I'm a little new to that platform, so tell us about that.
I don't have a huge following on Twitch yet.
More than me.
I started a streaming service like a few months ago. I was streaming for 60 hours a month for 4 months on a different streaming platform. I gained like 30,000 fans, and now I'm transitioning them over to Twitch.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But live streaming is like a new wave to communicate. And that's another place that I actually test out jokes to see if they're politically incorrect or not.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm just living in this virtual
We're
world.
going to be a part of it because
you guys want to join it?
Yeah, we're going to join
sure.
it. We're going to get in it.
I mean, you could do this.
Blue pill or red
You
pill?
could do this show on Twitch right now, and then you could go look at the computer screen and see if anyone has some live comments to ask.
Absolutely.
That's the other beauty of it. It's all happening in real time.
We're going to do that.
And no editing.
No editing.
That's the best
We're learning something new
We're
from
gonna
every
be on
guest
Twitch.
we've had.
But we want to thank
Twitch
you.
is good. You guys should try it.
Thank you
Join
so
my
much
Twitch
for,
channel.
Yeah, join her Twitch. Where can they find you? Let everybody know where they can find you.
It's Emilie Knows Everything across the board.
On Instagram, Twitch.
Twitch.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I think it's like Emilie Hagen.
Okay.
Got like 300
Just look up Emilie
subscribers.
Knows Everything, and you're going to see that right here on your screen.
Twitch.tv/Emilie Knows Everything, Emily with an IE.
IE. Well, thank you so much, Emily,
Thanks
for coming
for having
in.
me, guys.
Yes,
we
thank
love
you.
it.
Let me know if you have any
Appreciate
Twitch questions.
Well, thank you
in
guys
general.
for tuning in. Thank you for our lovely, well, she is a hostess.
I'm going to learn how to be politically correct.
She's going to learn how to be politically
She'll
correct.
get
And in the
there.
meantime,
We'll get there.
don't forget that we have a special giveaway for
Yes.
all of you guys. Tell them what it is, Josh.
It's a date with my face. Honey, yes. Okay, so we talked about this at the beginning of the show, and we're going to tell you now what you have to do to win the date with my face. It's an awesome set.
Yes.
I've tried it. She's tried it.
It makes me feel wonderful
Oh my
and
gosh,
glowing.
it's amazing. It's got that clay mask
Yes.
that you mix with the vinegar.
Dope.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's what you gotta do first. 1, subscribe to our YouTube. Second, you have to follow our page on Instagram and Date With My Face on their Instagram. Right
There
here.
we go.
Okay, and then we're going to post a contest photo, like it, and tag 5 of your friends.
And you can get this
it.
exclusive, wonderful, wonderful kit from Date My Face. So make sure you guys are doing that. We know Valentine's Day is coming up, so if you have that special someone, and this is definitely for guys and gals, so enjoy and love it. But
And you could be
to
anywhere in
everyone.
America. Like, it's not
Anywhere,
just,
we'll
not
send it
just
to
LA.
you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, and follow us and follow Emilie Knows Everything. Bye.